Hello everyone, how are you? In my previous class, we discussed about nucleophilic substitution reaction, that is SN2 mechanism. Today, we are going to discuss another mechanism, that is SN1. Let's go ahead. So, SN1, S stands for substitution, N for nucleophilic, and 1 stands for unimolecular. That is, molecularity of SN1 reaction is 1. Now let us take an example of SN1 reaction. That is, tertiary butyl bromide reacts with aqueous potassium hydroxide. That is the hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide to give tertiary butyl alcohol. So here, this is the substrate, this is nucleophile, this is product, and this is the leaving group. So how to write the mechanism for this? SN1 mechanism, how to write. But before writing the SN1 mechanism, today I am going to give you very important trick. That is, you can say, that is a password to open the SN1 file. What is that? You remember, that is 1, 2, 3, PPR. What I said? 1, 2, 3, PPR. So what is the meaning of that? 1 is for unimolecular. That is, order or molecularity of SN1 reaction is 1. 2. SN1 reaction takes place in 2 steps. That is 2-step mechanism. SN1 reaction is 2-step mechanism. 3 means tertiary butyl chloride. 3-degree halides are most reactive towards SN1 mechanism. The first P is polar. Second P is protic, and R is racemization. So polar protic is a type of solvent. All the aspects we will discuss one by one after writing the SN1 mechanism. But all the aspects and how to write the mechanism, you can easily remember by this particular code, or you can say password. Alright? Okay. Let's go ahead. You can take the screenshot of it, otherwise I will rub this. Yes. Now how to write the SN1 mechanism? So we will take this particular reaction. What is the step 1? Step 1 is the formation of carbocation, which is a slow step, and this is called RDS, rate determining step. Remember, why it is called rate determining step? I will explain it. So how to write it? Tertiary butyl bromide see here the tertiary butyl bromide, in this case carbon halogen bond. CBr here is undergo heterolytic cleavage. Here it is del plus, del minus, partial positive and partial negative charge due to electronegativity difference. There is a result of heterolytic cleavage. It will form tertiary butyl carbocation. Then of course halide ions, that is bromide ion. And this is a reversible step. Slow step, rate determining step, and it's a reversible step. Now, what is the step 2? Second step. Step 2 is the first step. This is here attack of carbocation by the nucleophile. Attack of carbocation by the nucleophile. As soon as the carbocation will form, the nucleophile is what? Nucleophile is our OH minus is the nucleophile. So this carbocation, tertiary carbocation, will be attacked by nucleophile. This is nucleophile. This is the first process to form the product. What is the product? Tertiary butyl alcohol. This is the product. Okay. Now we'll learn one by one all the important aspects of SN1 mechanism. Let's go ahead. Yes. Some important aspects of SN1 mechanism. Number 1, the rate law. The rate law shows that the rate of SN1 reaction follows first order kinetics. That is, the rate of the reaction depends only on the concentration of substrate. That is alkyl halide. So how to write the rate? Rate expression, rate equal to K, rate constant, molar concentration of substrate. This is the substrate general formula. This is the whatever we have taken the examples. So what is the meaning of first order kinetics? Means the rate of SN1 reaction depends only on the concentration of substrate, not depend on concentration of the nucleophile. Remember. So it is easy. Order is, everywhere this order is 1. And rate law and order is determined experimentally. You have learned in chemical kinetics. Now, in SN1 reaction, only one reacting species, that is only substrate, is involved in the transition state of the rate determining state. Now we'll understand one by one. Hence the reaction is called unimolecular reaction, that is, its molecularity is 1. Let's go ahead with it and we'll learn these points again. See, second point, SN1 reaction occur in 2 steps. Already I said. The step 1 is what? Step 1 is the slow step. And hence, it is the rate determining step. Slow step is the rate determining step. Where CX bond, carbon halogen bond, undergoes slow cleavage to produce the carbocation and halide ion. Once again I am writing, you see. That is see, any carbon halogen bond heterolytic cleavage take place. Even you can show the transition step. If you can show the transition step here, this is the bond breaking take place here. bond breaking. See, SN1 reaction in the study only bond breaking takes place, but SN2 bond breaking and bond formation takes place simultaneously. Clear? Can you remember it? Yes. Then as a result, carbocation is formed and halide deposits. Now here you see, first of all, once again I am telling you that why the molecularity is one, why it is unimolecular, because here in the transition state only one molecule is involved, that is the substrate molecule. That is why molecularity of SN1 reaction is 1. Clear? Now let's go for the step 2. This is the first step. In this step, the carbocation attacked by the nucleophile to complete the substitution reaction. That is, it leads to the formation of product. That already I have written, means as soon as the carbocation will form, this nucleophile will attack and we will get the corresponding product. Now, why the first step? This step, slow step, is called the rate determining step. Why first step is not rate determining step? Because, say nucleophile, the nucleophile is already ready. This nucleophile, this is the nucleophile. Nucleophile is already ready to attack. As soon as the carbocation will form, the nucleophile will attack to form the what? Product. What I mean to say, the rate of SN1 reaction depends only on slow step where carbocation is formed, not on the first. If carbocation will not form, then nucleophile is waiting to who will attack. As soon as carbocation will form, then only it can attack. That is why rate depends on the slow step. Done? Yes. Another very important point about the reactivity. So reactivity of different alkyl halide follows the order 3 degree, always greater than 2, then 1. Indeed, 3 degree or tertiary alkyl halide, the reactivity is the fastest in towards SN1 mechanism. That is why in the first example you see, as soon as you see the tertiary alkyl halide, you will have to follow the SN1 mechanism. So what is the reason behind it? The reason is that reactivity of substrate is directly proportional to the stability of the carbocation. Greater the stability of the carbocation, greater will be the ease of formation of alkyl halide and faster will be the rate of reaction. Here, it is why tertiary alkyl halide undergo SN1 reaction very fast because of the high stability of tertiary carbocation. One very important sentence you will remember: more stable carbocation form more readily. More stable product form more readily. This is very important. Yes. Let me give an example of it. Suppose, let us take some alkyl halide. Okay. Let us take a different thing. Yeah. Suppose it is methyl bromide, ethyl bromide, okay, let us take an isopropyl bromide, tertiary butyl bromide. Now if you ask the reactivity of different alkyl halide, which one is most stable? To understand that, we have to see the corresponding carbocation, stability of the corresponding carbocation. What is the corresponding carbocation? Here it is methyl carbocation. What is the corresponding carbocation here? Ethyl carbocation. Here isopropyl carbocation. Here carbutyl carbocation. Now, which one is most stable carbocation? We have learned carbocation stability can be explained by hyperconjugation or inductive effect. How to understand hyperconjugation? Here it is. You have to see the maximum number of no bond resonance structure due to hyperconjugation. What is the formula for that? Number of no bond resonance structures, no bond resonance structure due to hyperconjugation equal to number of what? Alpha hydrogen. You see, number of alpha hydrogen. What is the meaning of alpha hydrogen with respect to this carbon? This is alpha hydrogen. These are alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen means the hydrogen attached to the alpha carbon. Is alpha carbon. How many alpha hydrogens are attached? 1, 2, 3. Here 3 is 3. 9. Here it is 6 alpha hydrogen. Here how many? 3 alpha hydrogen. Here it is more. Means maximum no bond resonance structure due to hyperconjugation is in the tertiary carbocation. That is R-butyl carbocation. That is why tertiary carbocations are more stable, and more stable carbocation form more readily. When this more stable carbocation form more readily, that will be attacked by the nucleophile more readily and product will form more readily. Is it clear? Okay. Now another one is the allylic halide. This is the allyl group. Halogen is attached with this. That is allyl halide, and this is benzylic group. This is benzyl halide. They show the high reactivity towards the SN1 reactions. What is the reason? Because allyl and benzyl carbocations are resonance stabilized. How it is resonance stabilized? Let me show. Okay. 1 minute. Here only let me show you. Suppose allylic halide. See, this is allyl halide. The allyl carbocation will be what here? This will be the allyl carbocation. This halogen will not be there. This allyl carbocation. How it is being resonance stabilized? If this electron will move towards this, then see, this is resonance stabilized. Similarly, we can show that in case of benzyl carbocation. What is benzyl? See, this is benzyl carbocation. Here also we can show the resonance. Is it visible? See here. Here this is positive charge will develop because it is moved here. Here double bond will form. Positive charge will develop here. And in the next step again, here the positive charge will develop. Then This pi electron will move towards this side. Here the positive charge will develop. Yes, means as a result of this resonance, dispersion of positive charge occurs. Dispersion of positive charge, which leads to stability of this allylic carbocation and benzylic carbocation. That is why they are also stable. Let us go for the next. Yes, for a given alkyl group, means given alkyl group means, okay, here it is suppose methyl iodide, methyl bromide, methyl group, if we will take methyl chloride, suppose methyl fluoride. Here alkyl iodide highly reactive towards both SN1 and SN2 mechanism. What is the reason behind it? Because of the size of the iodine size is maximum, so it is bond dissociation energy is easily we can break. So leaving power of the iodine ions will be maximum. Clear? Already this particular point we discussed in SN2 mechanism. That is done. Two more important aspects, that is, one is SN1 reactions are generally carried out in polar portic solvent. Already I said in the beginning itself. So SN1 reaction favors in polar portic solvent like water, alcohol, acetic acid. Dear students, this is a very important topic. Effect of solvent in SN1 and SN2 reactions we will discuss separately in my separate video. Okay. Another one is stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. In case of optically active alkyl halide, SN1 reactions are accompanied by racemization. There are many important terms we have to learn related to the stereochemistry. So for this particular topic also, I am going to make another very important video, that is stereochemistry of SN1 and SN2 reactions. Here we will learn it separately. Now quickly let us recapitulate. First of all, if you remember the trick, there I said password. What is that? 1, 2, 3 P, P, R.